Hey, how you doing? Oh, you're on your third live stream. I just started. Just I'm doing something on Reddit. I started going Reddit. That stuff is crazy. Schnar for Hammond. Where was Schnar? Was he in New Jersey? What did they go get him? Okay, I gotta go. I'll take a look at. I don't even know what's going. Okay. Okay, this is what I gotta say. Uh, I think the Leafs trade is stupid. No use for it whatsoever. A second, 2 seconds. Devils, yeah. Yeah, I just had to think about it for a second. It was Devils. Yeah, they picked him up for the Rangers. So, yeah. Hammond still might even get to play again in the NHL. He's crazy how he does that. Uh, so much stuff going on here. I can't. I'm getting crushed because I put in Reddit. I put in Reddit. I said Minnesota made themselves more of a contender with the Fleury trade than the Leafs did with the Giordano trade, and all the Leafs fans are just losing their mind. And people think that Fleury's like the backup for Minnesota now. No, 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 no. Talbot is barely going to see the net, and who knows what you can do with Fleury? I suppose. I mean, for what they gave up, I thought it was worth the shot. For what Toronto gave up, no. Lauren, how you doing? That 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 Toronto trade was so stupid. What a stupid trade. Toronto's going nowhere with Giordano. Like they're not a contender with Giordano. Campbell might get hot, but I mean, if Campbell gets hot, does it really change all that much? I know you like my Whalers hat? Woo! If uh if Campbell gets hot, does it really change much that Giordano was there? I mean, they're trying to do the Giordano Brody thing, but to give up a 2023 second, which is almost like a first because that draft is so deep. What else? Wasn't it a second this year, a second next year? What was that full deal? That was crazy. What was that full deal? Uh, Yeah, it does. But I mean, if I'm going to do something, if I got holes in my lineup, like I said lots of times, for me anyways, I'd take the elite goaltender. And I'm sure Toronto tried. But if they weren't going to get him, then you might as well not do what they did for Giordano. It's so steep of a price for him. Like, he did okay in Seattle. I don't know. I just don't think it moves the needle enough for them to make that move. I would save the assets for a better time than try to go for it now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they have holes, no doubt about it. But if there's a position that can fill holes, and they didn't really give up that much, they give up a second rounder. Okay, I got to look at all these deals. I've been so busy. Okay, Mark Giordano. Now, what did they trade again? Leafs are sending 2 second-round picks. One of them is 2023, and a third rounder in 2024. 2022, 2023 second. That is way too much. I mean, if Giordano was a guy that was going to, like, you think, okay, this is going to put us over the top, then okay, sure. But he's not. Now, with Minnesota getting Fleury, it's a second rounder. Okay, is it 2023 or is it 2022? I got to find that now. Yeah, okay. Conditional second round pick in 2022. It's a weaker draft. And it becomes a first if they make it to the Western Finals. Which, I mean, that makes sense to me. If you do happen to get to the Western Finals, you give up your first. It's an elite goaltender, and it's a more important position. I mean, we saw what an elite goaltender can do. We've seen what an elite goaltender can do in the playoffs. To me, that gives them a shot. Do I think they could win a cup? No, but I think that gives them more of a shot. Marc-Andre Fleury is the type of goaltender that can steal series, so you never know. I just did by the way, there is talk right now that the Rangers are shopping Alex Lafreniere. The Rangers are shopping Alex Lafreniere. And I just did a video on it now. I traded him to a bunch of teams out there. I sent it out to Rangers fans, and I'm sure I'm just going to get absolutely destroyed on it. Yeah, it's kind of going off right now for sure. Breaking news. Kotkaniemi. Oh, okay, so they Carolina did sign Kotkaniemi to the 8-year, which we already knew was going to happen. Oh, Rangers acquired Tyler Mott from the Canucks. Yeah, the Rangers, I think, did some smart moves there. They know they're not a true contender, so they grabbed a couple guys that, if Shesterkin goes off, they can help out. Like a guy like Vetrano was a great pickup because he's that one-shot shooter. Vetrano's that guy that could be that he could be that player that scores like 14 goals in the playoffs and you never saw it coming. He's got that shot type stuff. But I thought the Rangers really were realistic in what their chances were in making the decisions that they made. Okay, did they get caught too? The Rangers got caught. Sharks get Anthony Bitetto. That don't mean nothing. Yeah, the Rangers got Andrew Kopp. Doesn't say what for yet. Wow. I mean, so that's going to be their second line center, I would think. I'm going to be interested to see what they gave up for Kopp. I could. I like. It doesn't say what they gave up. There's 40 seconds left at the deadline now. It doesn't say what they gave up, but I guess we'll find out in a bit. I would imagine that's going to be one of those deals where you get like, we give you this if we don't sign him, and then we sign him, but I'm almost sure they'll sign him. And then you can pretty much say bye-bye to Strome. And like I said, apparently, oh, I just got something else here. Wow. Uh, anyways, yeah, they've acquired Andrew Kopp. I think that they'll sign Kopp and then Strome will be on his way. My guess there, because I hear Kopp wants about $5 million. He wants like Coleman type money or Pajot type money, something like that, which makes sense. I could definitely see him getting that. More of a two-way guy than I don't think. What is it that we don't like about Strome? Let's face it. Like, he's soft, right? Is that it? He's not. He's a slick passer. He's not a first shooter guy, and he's probably asking for about $6 or $7 million. So I think that the Rangers are probably thinking, in Kopp, we get less point production but more all-around player for $2 million less. I said they've been exploring the idea of Lafreniere, I think. And I think that's actually a good move, to tell you the honest truth. And I thought so when they drafted him, it was going to be really difficult. They already had Kreider. They already had Panarin. And now, like I kind of figured it only could be, he's buried in that lineup. And they're trying him on the right-hand side, and it's not working out. And that's really the big reason. So if Lafreniere can't play that right side, I could definitely see them exploring, maybe not today, but in the offseason, as, to try to fill out other holes. Getting Kopp would be more of a third line acquisition. Why Giordano is a bad move? Because Toronto's still not a contender with Giordano. You're giving 2023 first and that, or second, which is basically like a first because of the depth, a second this year and a third for a guy who doesn't really help you be a contender this year. I just don't think it's a good move. To me, it sounds like a move that you couldn't get anything else done, so you'll throw it at the wall and see what happens. I know that they're hoping that there's the added possibility that him playing with Brody is going to bring that magic back again a little bit. But honestly, I think you're just taking a huge risk. Oh, Oilers have acquired Derek Brassard. I think you're taking a huge risk that Campbell's going to be able to go off enough to almost makes him, and then Lawrence says it almost makes him a complete team, assuming he comes back next year. Even the Minnesota deal, like, you're kind of if you're going to take a gamble, I would rather do that than the Giordano deal. Let's just put it that way. If you're going to take a gamble, I'd rather do the Fleury deal than the. And I would imagine that Dubas thought the same thing. I'm sure he would have given up what he gave up for Fleury if Fleury would go to Toronto. But for some reason, they won't go to Toronto. You don't see it, what, that it's a bad move or a good move? I'm going to see if I can get some people on here. Sorry, I'm just. Yeah, Andrew Kopp to the New York Rangers. I know. I'm trying to share this around on. Josh Brown to the Boston Bruins. That doesn't. Yeah, that was a weird one. Josh Brown. He gets like I don't. They what did they give up for that? Oh my gosh. Ricard Raquel going to the Pittsburgh Penguins. You knew they were going to do something. You knew they were going to do something. Ricard Raquel to the Pittsburgh Penguins. That is a nice move. That's a nice move. Ricard Raquel to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah, that's a good move. They always do that right in the end, right? Pittsburgh always does that. And they say, well, we have no cap room, blah, 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 blah. Josh, he doesn't fight, though. He's really. Josh Brown is like the softest big guy you're ever going to find. That's the reason why he keeps on floating around all over the place. He just tries to pass his way out of everything. Uh, but Raquel, okay, how does that fit for? How does that fit for them? How does that fit for them? Make sure you're hitting that like button, everybody. Let's get a lot of people in here. No, I didn't think they were going to be able to fix the goaltender. Florida got Sherratt. Yeah, and Ekblad's out for a while. They got Hag, nice little move. Sherratt, man, yeah, well, I know. I'm really on the fence of how much it matters to have a guy like Sherratt in the playoffs. I don't think it matters as much as they gave up for him. Let's put it that way. But you can't deny that a guy that can beat people up and tire people out in the playoffs is huge. His overall actual game, though, is not great. I think it's an overpayment. I think it was an overpayment, but there was a lot of overpayments this year. It was definitely a seller's market this year. Some of the overpayments made sense, like Hagel to Tampa Bay. It made sense. It's an overpayment, no doubt about that, but I get it. It made sense. Nick Leddy to the St. Louis Blues. I don't know why they want to do that. I don't know what that's for at all. Hopefully they didn't give up that much. But Pittsburgh, with that move, they won't have it in here yet. Okay, well, the Kasperi Kapanen is fried in the pine, I imagine. Raquel can play left or right, but he'll probably play left here. So you're going to have Gunsel, Crosby, Rodriguez. That line stays together. And then you put Raquel with Malkin and Rust. It's a good move, man. I don't know what they gave up, though. What was the return? What do you think? They didn't get enough for Mott? I think they just got to make. I mean, Mott's not an unreplaceable player, so I don't mind it for Vancouver. I'm surprised that they didn't do more as far as selling is concerned, but I guess they're going to wait till the off season. Did you hear, Mercer, that Lafreniere is kind of out there right now? Yeah, it didn't. After a while, after their ask for Chychrun was high, and I think it was mostly because they think that they're going to be able to get that in the summer when every team is available to do it, and they can work on their cap space and all that stuff like that. I think he's a replaceable player. He doesn't put up much offense. He's a good two-way guy. I mean, he's heart and soul type guy. I think it was a good move for. I think Rangers did really well. I think Rangers found some really good value plays there, no doubt about it. Yeah, Oilers getting Brassard, whatever, whatever, and Kukan. What did they give up for Brassard? Please tell me it was just some late pick or something. Yeah. Is James Reimer actually back to Toronto, or did you just say that? Because you have a tendency to just say that. So what did they give up? Oh, fourth round pick. That's wow. I would have rather given a fourth round pick up for Tyler Mott than Derek Brassard. Whatever. They still haven't said what the Andrew Kopp return is yet. Winnipeg gets Sanford for a 5th-round pick. That's a nice pickup. I like what Winnipeg did, like little moves like that. They got Sanford. They took Appleton back. They fixed strengthened up their bottom 6, which I like. It was some pretty nice little moves there. What was the most one-sided trade made? Might have been the Giordano one. I'd have to go over them because I mean I like Giordano, but I just not for like he wasn't in. They're not in that spot to pick him up like that. I just which other ones were there? What did Braun go for? I think it was just a 3rd, right? And that was to the Rangers too. So they made like just little tough moves, toughen up their D, toughen up their bottom 6 to give themselves a little more of a chance. They got it for a 3rd in 2003 for him, which is a pretty good return for Braun. What do you think, by the way? I'm looking through them all right now to see what was the most one-sided. Capitals got Johansson for 2 picks, a 4th and a 6th. Okay, it's all right. Doesn't really move the needle for them or anything, but an extra body for the playoffs. Not bad. Didn't give up too much. The DeBrus never did go at the deadline, eh? Oh, I didn't see that. They signed. The Senators signed Anton Forsberg. Okay, that's a nice little move. I didn't hear anything about Domi getting traded. I'm trying to find the most one-sided trade. Okay, I should just look up NHL deadline tracker. Okay, they still haven't said. Oh, Domi. The Hurricanes got Domi. Wow. Lorne, you're getting Domi for the Hurricanes. Wow. I didn't see that coming at all, but I should know that with Carolina. They do that kind of stuff. No return for the Cop yet. The Avalanche did well getting Lehkonen and Incogliano. I thought those were 2 nice little moves. What did they give up for Lehkonen? Oh, they gave up a lot, though. Justin Barron. I'm actually surprised they gave up Justin Barron in that deal. The Canadians did well to get Justin Barron there, too. But he is kind of buried in Colorado. Like that was a good pickup for I like Lehkonen a lot, and I think it's going to work out well for Avalanche for now. But I think the Canadians did exceptional getting Justin Barron there. That That might end up being the most one-sided deal, man. As much as I think it's good for the Avalanche right now, Justin Barron is one hell of a defenseman. That could end up being the most lopsided, especially if they nail that second round pick, although that's a long ways away. Montreal retained 50%. Wow. The Blues got Nick Leddy and Luke Witkowski for Jake Wall. Oh my God. Are you kidding me right now? There it is right there, buddy. The most lopsided deal by far. St. Louis Blues gave Oscar Lundqvist in a 2023 second for Leddy and Witkowski. That is absurd. That is absolutely absurd. Oh, that Josh Brown you're talking about. The Bruins got Josh Brown in a conditional second, and the Senators get Sinishin and a fifth. Senators did well there. Josh Brown is useless. That's absurd, man. Oscar Lundqvist is freaking... I can't believe that. A 2023 second, the deepest draft we've seen since 2015, for Nick Leddy and Luke Witkowski. That is ridiculous. I would fire my general manager immediately. That is retarded. Please excuse my unpolitically correct self. I'm speechless at how bad that is. Stevie Yzerman just absolutely raped him. That has got to be, for sure, one of the top 100. Yeah, that has got to be. I can't believe I'm looking at this right now. I'm going to put that up on Reddit right now. That's ridiculous. That is absurd. I still can't believe that's... Okay, I don't need to read anymore. There's no way there's a worse trade than that out there. That's got to be one of the worst trade deadline deals ever made. Got to be. I have no explanation for that. Luke Witkowski, like really? What was that? Where they're like, let's try to go over that deal and see kind of how they went back and forth on that deal. My gosh. So Stevie Yzerman calls up, and I can't remember who the general manager of the Blues is right now. Calls him up and says, "Hey, you looking for a veteran defenseman?" And the Blues guy are like, "Yeah, well, we'll see what we can get out there, but we're kind of looking that way, yeah." All right, well, if you're looking, we have Nick Leddy available. And they're like, "Really? Nick Leddy's available?" Yeah, well, I mean, I mean, oh yeah, Nick Leddy. Okay. Okay, well we'll look at that. And then they call back and say, so the Blues call him back and say, hey, is Leddy still available? And Stevie Y says, yes. Yes, he is actually. I got a lot of people looking at him though, so you better get on it. And um, and they go, well, what about Jake Wallman, journeyman veteran? Oh, we're going to need more than Jake Wallman. We're going to need more than Jake Wallman for that. We got guys out there just thirsting for Nick Leddy. So then Stevie Eisenman says, we're going to need Sundqvist in your 2003 second. And the Blues say, well, I mean, you're going to have to throw Witkowski in. And Stevie Eisenman's like, oh man, Witkowski, he's been so good in our minor league system for years. I don't know if we'd be able to do that. I don't get this, man. They retained 50% of his salary. Stevie Eisenman just destroyed the St. Louis Blues. Destroyed. Oscar Sundqvist is freaking going to probably play in their third line center role. I don't know. I don't know how. Was there a roundtable discussion around the St. Louis Blues table about this trade? Like, there wasn't somebody out there going, I don't know if this is such a good idea. Like, are you kidding me? Horrible trade. Just absolutely horrible. I just can't believe it. I mean, I love Sundqvist. He is a heart and soul guy. Yeah. I'm sure he is. I like. Okay. Steve Eisenman gave up 2 seconds for Leddy, if you remember, and I was like, "What the hell did you do that Lamoriello knows about that you had to get? Like, why?" I couldn't believe Stevie Eisenman made that deal, but I can only imagine that he must have known he had this deal in his pocket or something. I'm just blown away by that trade. Yeah, the Leafs got marginally better. Marginally better. That that's a I could just talk all day about how bad that deal is. Like what did Leddy do? Did nobody go watch Leddy play in Detroit? Like there was this would lead me to believe that there were general managers lining up and there was an actual like leveraging going on to get this deal done. So there was other general managers that were offering something for Leddy, and they were like, "I'll give you a second." I mean, I just don't understand it. Like Leddy should get no more than a seventh round pick, even if he's retained. He's been absolutely ass for years. He's terrible defensively. He used to put up offense. He's put up no offense in Detroit whatsoever. I do not understand what people see in that guy. I don't know what he does that makes people think that they're good because they have Leddy. I don't get it. That's the one they accepted. Yeah, like What were other people offering that they had to throw in Sundqvist? Like, I don't know if Sundqvist is a really good centerman, man. He's a heart and soul type guy. He's going to fit in Detroit fantastic. Like they're probably going to try him in the second line center role in Detroit. I'm blown away by what Stevie Y got out of that deal. But you got to, like I said, he gave up 2 seconds, and I don't know if he must owe Lamoriello a favor back or something like that, or there's a promise because Stevie Yzerman's too smart, I think, to give up 2 seconds for Leddy, but he made up for it in spades because he gets a 2023 second from St. Louis and Sundqvist, and it wasn't another pick on top of it for Witkowski. Don't forget Witkowski. Oh my God! All right, what other deals were there? That's just mind blowing. Allard, okay. Flyers did well getting a 2023 for Justin Braun. I'm not really big. I think the Rangers gave up too much there. It wasn't really necessary. So the Kulak deal, we gave up Lagesson and a second for Kulak. We gave up a second. Oh my God. What second? What year second? The Oilers gave up. You wait, Peyton on the radio. Well, you wait. When you're gonna hear Peyton go off here, man. You watch Peyton on the radio. We gave up a second and Lagesson for Brett Kulak. My God. At least it wasn't Leddy. What a ridiculous amount. A second for Brett Kulak. I hate my team. I just hate it. I hate my team. Yeah. Bad trade. Disgusting trade. Whatever. Not as bad as the Leddy trade, but second worst trade of this. Maybe a fifth or sixth, exactly. I can't believe they gave up a second for Brett Kulak. My God. What does that help us with? What does Brett Kulak help us with? Anyone have anything? Nothing. Ridiculous. I just can't believe it. So Sharks did well giving up Middleton and a fifth for Kakinen. I like that move. They needed a goaltender. Reimer's probably going to stay, and they'll let Hill go. Hill's been awful. Middleton is whatever. He's a tough defenseman, but I mean, he's not fantastic or anything like that. That's a good move. I like that by the Sharks. That was a good trade. It's just ridiculous, man. Did they really? They didn't re-up Keith now. Don't tell me they did that. I can't believe when I saw that we got Lagesson, I was like, oh, okay. We gave up a Kulak. I was like, okay, we gave up a middle round pick. Whatever. No. Lagesson, who has been proving very much ever since he got in Edmonton, and a bloody second. I can't wait to see Peyton's video on this. He's going to lose his freaking mind. He's going to lose his freaking mind. Absolutely no doubt about it. Anything else new coming in? I thought the Nick Paul pickup by Tampa was steep. I like Matthew Joseph. I thought Ottawa did really well getting Matthew Joseph in a fourth out of that deal. Very, very well. I don't know what they were. I think Tampa made a mistake there, really. As far as I know, he didn't. Connor Garland did not get traded. No. Oh, what's going on? Oh, the Dallas Stars acquire Vladislav Nemeshnikov. I wonder what they gave up for that. What's Stevie Eisman get now for that? That'll be interesting. Ryan Carpenter traded to the Flames. I'm actually surprised Chicago didn't do more than they already did. They got a 5th round pick for Ryan Carpenter. There you go. That's not a bad deal for Calgary. That's a pretty good deal for Calgary. Ryan Carpenter is a good 4th line guy. They let Richardson go. They got a cheaper, younger guy. That's a good move. That's what we should have give up for Kulak if we're going to get him. And I don't know why we got him, but defense prospect Aiden Hershak. That's it. Hershak. I don't even know who that is. Help me out, Lauren. That's what they gave up for Domi. I'm scared to find out. I'm scared to find out what the Oilers gave up for Brassard now. Oh, 4th. Okay. Okay, I guess. Still don't know what they gave up for Kopp. I don't see where Connor Garland or any of the Vancouver Canucks guys got traded here. So I think Tampa Bay overpaid quite a bit, but I understand why they did it. At least you can understand why they did it. They got a Coleman type guy. That was a lot, though. My gosh, Chicago got a lot back in that deal. And I'm not sure why they had to give up Joseph for I don't understand that deal. For Paul, I guess they figure Joseph is like a younger version of Paul. That's what his upside is, but I think he might have more upside than that. And the Bruins signed DeBrus, but don't trade him. I really thought he would have been traded at the deadline here. Zanford only is the Winnipeg gave up a 5th for Sanford. That's reasonable. I really want to know what Kopp got back. So what did you guys think was the best move out of everybody? What was the best? Things don't seem good. In what way, Yoshi Bros? I haven't seen you in a long time. Thanks for coming in, man. What do you guys think was the best move? Wow, I don't think there was a goaltender to be had. Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. Eiserman fleecing St. Louis. Besides that, that's going to be the laughing stock trade. I'm just blown away by that trade. Absolutely blown away by that trade. I cannot wrap my mind around about how stupid that trade was. I guess they need Armstrong back inside. I guess they shouldn't have got rid of Armstrong in St. Louis, because Armstrong has done amazing moves for Arizona, and you think they should fire Dubas for his horrible moves? I don't like the Giordano move. I still think they're going to lose in the first round. It would have been better if they just lost in the first round. Now they give up 2 seconds and still lose in the first round. I just don't think he moves the meter enough for them to give up that much of a package. Which one do you like? The Flyers getting the third or the Rangers getting Braun? The Flyers getting the third or the Rangers getting Braun? Which one do you like the best? I don't think there was a goaltender to get, and Yoshi, and I agree. Like, if they didn't get the goaltender, which was really only Fleury that was going to help them, seriously, Fleury was the only goaltender out there that was going to put them in a position to be a contender. And if you can't get him, then it's not your year. It's just not your year. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think Braun maybe. I think that might be a little expensive for Braun, but I get it. It's not bad. I mean, the Rangers don't want to go win with all those kids in the playoffs. You could ruin guys' career that way. Yeah, I mean, but what were you going to get better? Like, you're not going to get any. So you get a little better. Just the way I see it, and I'm having arguments with people on Reddit right now about this, and they're like, "Well, you telling me you don't think Toronto improved their team?" Yeah, but not enough for it to matter. I'm not giving up a 2023 second and a 2022 second and a third for a guy that doesn't make me good enough to beat Carolina, Florida, or Tampa Bay unless I get lucky. Toronto's going to have to get lucky, or Campbell's going to have to go out of his head to win that series with Giordano or not with Giordano. So I'm not giving up those picks. I'm just not. And as far as a goaltender concerned, what are you going to get? Holtby? Holtby's going to really make you that much better? No. Holtby's not going to take you there. I don't know what else was available. What other goaltenders were there? Corpusalo? No. So it's not your year. And I guess, go out, get in the off season, spare nothing, and get yourself a damn good goaltender. Yeah, they are tougher. They're better than team with or without Giordano. If Fleury got traded to the Leafs, now you're talking, man. If he would have accepted, I think the Leafs were in on that, and they would have done a deal, probably gave more than, like, Minnesota really gave up. Chicago did well to get a second and a possible first for Fleury since they had no leverage because he was only going where he wanted to go. And apparently that wasn't Toronto. But I'm sure I would definitely give up that same package they gave up to get Fleury. That might give you a chance. Might. But getting Giordano, no. Yeah, you can't play Shalgren in the playoffs. You got to hope Campbell can go on one of his runs. And he hasn't shown he can do it in the playoffs, so I would have overpaid for him too. If overpayments, if you're going to overpay for a player, it's got to be a player that puts you there. That puts you there. Giordano does not put Toronto there, I don't believe. They could prove me wrong, I guess, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I, he's good. I wouldn't say he's not good. He's good. He's just not great anymore, but he's good. I think the Leafs defense is better with Giordano. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's better enough to make the deal. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, apparently, if I was the Leafs or anybody, I would have been calling St. Louis with whatever you got. Like, if St. Louis, why did Chicago not trade DeHaan or anybody like that? That I don't understand. Are you telling me that St. Louis? I don't understand why they didn't trade DeHaan. And if that's the case, like, why didn't St. Louis offer that for DeHaan rather than Letty? Um, right now, if I'm a GM, I'm phoning St. Louis every time I have a player that I want traded first. A second round pick in 2022. Becomes a first if they make the Western Final. Yeah, I mean, the Wild got more rugged and more playoff. I like the moves the Wild did. Oh, the explanation for why he gave up 2 seconds, maybe, yeah. See, I think I think he had that deal in his back pocket too, and he gave up the 2 seconds because Letty can help them with their power play. He was like acquiring a power play coach. See, I think the 2023 pick for Braun is a little steep. I think the Flyers did well getting that because that's like a second. No, I don't like the move at all either. Yeah, I don't like the Giordano move at all. I don't think it. I think it's way too much for a guy that isn't putting you over the top. It's not like Toronto's swimming in prospects or something like that. I don't think the wing. It was a seller's market, Doug. There's no use trying to buy at this deadline if you're not a contender because look what everybody got. Like, it was a seller's market. If I had things to sell, like the Coyotes got a third pick in 2023 for Johan freaking Larson. Johan Larson. They got a third from Washington in 2023 for Johan Larson. That is outrageous. Johan Larson's a guy that will be on waivers next year. Like, what a steal that Coyotes general manager did here. I don't think he'll be bad in Toronto. Like, I understand Giordano and Brody and all that stuff like that. If they would have given up a second or something like that, but 2 seconds and then one of them being in the what looks like going to be the deepest draft we've seen since 2015, and a third, that's just outrageous. We still don't know what the return for Raquel is. Oh, that was the other one. What did the Ducks get for Manson and Lindholm? That was another one. I like Lindholm a lot. I do. I think he's a good defenseman. But the Ducks did pretty damn good in that deal, man. Nemeshnikov isn't very good. Like that's about all I would give up for him. And where did he go? Dallas? Does he make Dallas really all that much better now? I don't see how he makes Dallas all that much better. I don't think he wanted out. They're just getting a pick for a guy who's not going to, he's taking up a roster spot. They got a lot of young players coming up next year, so they got a lot of young players coming up, and Meshnikov's in the way. He's not a very good player all around. Like, he's got to play in your top 6 or you can't play him. I don't know where they're going to play him in Dallas. Like, whatever. Honestly, if I'm Dallas, I just keep the pick. I don't even bother getting the Meshnikov. I think he did well. I think he did well to get that. Like, Stevie Yzerman, Doug, what they got for Leddy and Witkowski makes up for anything. Like, that a 2023 second, which is basically like a first because of the depth of that draft. Sundqvist and another pick or so. Like, he absolutely, totally abused St. Louis in that deal. Just absolutely crushed him in that deal. Leddy is going to do nothing for St. Louis whatsoever. I don't think it was a bad return for Nemeshnikov. In a normal, like, not a seller's market year, Nemeshnikov would have got like a sixth round pick. Yeah, they might as well. If they gave them Sundqvist and got nothing in return, let me look at Sundqvist's contract. Maybe he's on a steep contract or something. I don't know. They would have did better. Sundqvist has got to be on a long contract or something. They're getting cap space. Because Leddy will be a free agent at the end of the year. That's got to be it. It's got to be it. Yeah, the defenseman, he's probably never going to play in the NHL. So, but Sundqvist is fantastic. I love Sundqvist. Crosby once said that Sundqvist was the favorite. He loved Sundqvist because of his work ethic and all that kind of stuff like that. And Detroit certainly needs that. Detroit. So Sundqvist gets 2.75 for 2 years. Not bad. So that's not it. I guess it's just future cap space for St. Louis. It's that valuable to them. The 2.75. Yeah, I love Sundqvist. And it's some. He's not that old at 27. I think it's something that Detroit needs. Like absolute steal, 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 steal. Let me bring up St. Louis. There had to be like they wanted the cap, and I guess cap can be that expensive now because I mean Letty's a free agent. They don't sign him next year. They got Witkowski in the lineup right now. Nick Letty and Bertuzzo as your. I mean, Letty's a free agent, so they're going to get $3 million in cap space next year out of the deal, not having Sundqvist. But I'm pretty sure they could have got that anyways. Maybe was there a deal between Detroit and St. Louis somewhere down the road, and they kind of owed him a favor or something? That's all I can think of here. They probably want to sign Perron. 10 million. 10 million next year in cap space, and they got to sign Perron, which they wouldn't have had if they didn't get it. Would have been 7 million. That's all I can think of. Just cap space. That's it. Steeply buying cap space. Anybody know what the return was for Cop yet? That's true. Detroit's always liked their Swedes, yeah. But you're gonna love Sundqvist there in Detroit. And I think that's a type of player that they need there in Detroit. They don't have enough guys that sacrifice there in Detroit. And Sundqvist does all that, that's for sure. And he's one of the hardest working guys you're ever going to find. Good move. Really good move. I put out my, let's see what they got to say. I don't. I think they're. So I offered up. I did my. I did my Lafreniere trade video, and who's still here? Did I lose everybody? Doug and Whitechall. Okay, I did, and I sent it to Edmonton, and they said nothing. They think Lafreniere. One of the guys thinks that Lafreniere is a bust. They need grit and drive up front, not floaters. I don't think he's watched too many Rangers games. He's not a floater. Mercer. Okay, good. I guess my concurrent viewer thing mustn't be working then. You guys, if you guys all have, you guys all hit the like button, hit it. See, I want to see if it's working. I don't think my thing is working right now. That's why. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, Sunquist has a hard time staying healthy, and maybe that's part of the reason why. Like they're afraid he's not going to stay healthy, so they basically paid a heavy price for the cap space. That's what I'm thinking. They paid for $3 million of cap space. A heavy price though. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, silliness. The Rangers fans are not too happy. The Rangers fans are all saying silliness. They're not going to trade Lafreniere, all that stuff like that. But it's going over all over the place. I'm hearing it from a few sources. It's not just one. And it does make sense. I mean, Lafreniere is buried in that Rangers lineup. They would have to get a ton back still. I'm not getting too much about it though. Yeah. So he's competing with Panarin and Kreider, and they're saying he didn't perform higher in the lineup, like with Kreider. Yeah, well, yeah, Duncan. You should be able to get Duncan Keith and Shore. Duncan Keith Shore. Going by how they play Shore, he must be like that would be a yeah. I don't know. I don't think Edmonton would part with Shore though. I don't think Edmonton would part with Shore. I think that's asking a little too much there, buddy. Oh, so they gave up a fifth. Yeah, fifth for Ryan Carpenter. I like that move. Well, we agree to disagree. I'm not a big Devon Shore fan. He does. I mean, people. I think this is my personal opinion. People like him because he hits and he gives up his body to make a play and all that kind of stuff like that. But he often puts himself out of position to take a hit, to do it for a hit. He doesn't provide hardly anything offensively. He's just got a great work ethic. That's all. But his hockey IQ is really low. He's not my guy. I know it's good to have guys there with high work ethic, but I would take Oscar Sundqvist over him in a heartbeat. Okay, well, I didn't realize the Predators gave up a second round pick for Lauzon. What? I didn't. That's another one. There's a head scratcher. A second round pick for Lauzon? Man, oh man, was it a seller's market this year. Yeah, going by the market out there. Who knows? You might have got it first. He's definitely replaceable. Oh, oh my God. The New York Islanders extend Zach Parise and Cal Clutterbuck. Clutterbuck's extension is for 2 years. League minimum. They don't say how much. Michael McNiven traded to Ottawa. Okay, whatever. The New York Kyle Clutterbuck will be getting a salary in the New York Islanders for the New York Islanders until well into his retirement years, apparently. Like, is that where you need? I hope he it's at least a league minimum or something like that. Yeah, we well that was sort of like everybody kind of knew that was going to happen for the Kokaniemi deal. How much was it? It was like an average of 4 million, 4.5. I don't mind that deal. I know Lauren doesn't like it, uh, but I don't mind that deal for like his upside and what he can be. You know, if he becomes a third line center, then that deal is worth it already. So. It's a deal based on projection, and I think you have to do that. I don't think he's a fourth line guy forever. I think I think he's going to be projected to be a third line center. I liked a lot of the things I saw with him in Montreal. He was mismanaged there, and he shouldn't have been playing as early as he was. So, but I I think he's you're seeing a good progression from him, and if he becomes a third line center, that deal's going to look great after a while. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Okay, there was a 3-team deal with the Panthers for Max Domi. But I haven't seen it updated in. No, they haven't updated it yet. Some sort of 3-team deal. I don't know who this Aiden Horeshik is. Never heard of him. I'll look. Obviously, if I haven't heard of him, then he can't be that high end of a prospect. And I think for the most part, Columbus just is happy to get rid of the cap space because they don't have to sign him. It's kind of weird for Carolina. Really doesn't have a problem with these problem child players. It's kind of a weird move. Where do you put him in the lineup? You're going to put him at center? Is that going to be your second line center if you don't sign Trocheck? That's going to be interesting to see what that is. Oh, Rangers acquired Nick Merkley in the deal for Anthony Botello. It's not bad. Basically a minor league move. Still don't see Jake Wallman in second. Anyways, yeah, I can't find that 3-way deal is. But I find that if there's the oddest move of the day, it's Max Domi going to Carolina. To me, that's the oddest move of the day. Max Domi, who did he play for? He played for Arizona, Montreal, Columbus, Arizona. So Stepan probably knew Max Domi in Arizona, right? I think Stepan knew Max Domi in Arizona. So they must have talked to Stepan about this. Whatever it was about. I just thought about that. I think, and Kokiniemi would have played with Max Domi in Montreal. So like they did with D'Angelo, they probably discussed this with Stepan and stuff like that and figured out, how can we get the best out of Max? So I'm going to give them a mulligan here because, I think I'll give it some time here because Carolina is a pretty smart organization. I don't think they made too many moves that you could say are bad moves so far. So they must know something that they can get out of Domi that maybe Max Domi seems like a really misunderstood dude. He's got tons of talent, but he doesn't seem to ever be able to find a way to fit into a team. So I'm sure they must have talked to Stepan and they must have talked to Kokiniemi. Is there anybody else that they got? Those two for sure. And they must have said, hey, you know what? He's got tons of talent. I think you should give him a shot or something like that. Much like I'm sure when they talked to all the Ranger guys about D'Angelo, what they should do in that situation, that they obviously thought it was a good idea. And they listened to that. So I'll give it some time, but it is an odd move. He's making 5-point-something million. He's going to need, I do believe he's a restricted free agent here. Wedgwood got traded to the Dallas Stars, if that's the Wedgie you're talking about. I think they got a third or something like that for him. Not a bad move for the Dallas Stars. I guess Holtby's out for a while, so they get another young backup, and probably this will be it for Holtby. So. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I just don't know how he's going to fit in that lineup. In Montreal, apparently, Max Domi didn't like it because he wanted to be a center, and they didn't want him. They only wanted him to play wing. But then he went to Columbus, and he seemed to like not mind playing wing there, or I don't know. They're going to probably try him at center in Carolina, see if, because I don't think they're signing Trocheck, but they're putting a big risk on this one. Hey, Mark Brown, how you doing? What was your favorite trade of the day, Mark Brown? We're talking about the Ty Domi trade now. I find that the weirdest one out of the bunch. Oh, yeah. Kept on calling him Wedgie. What was your favorite trade, Mark Brown? You're a Ranger fan, right? I think they did pretty good. I like the Vetrano trade. I think they overpaid for Braun a bit, but I mean, not terribly. And what other one was there? They made some really like keen moves. I think the Rangers knew their team really well. They're going into the playoffs with the anything can happen attitude, so they're not going to give up too much to improve themselves right now. But they'll get some, guys that can play that gritty game, and they don't have to play their young players and destroy them in the playoffs and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Kopp. I don't know what the return is either, but I imagine it's going to be one of those, we get this, but if you sign him, this type deals. And I imagine the Rangers are all over signing Kopp. Trouba there, I'm sure, is like, yeah, you got to get Kopp, man. You got to get Kopp. I'm pretty sure. Minnesota did well. Yeah, I'd say Minnesota did well considering they weren't a contender at all, and now you can kind of put them in there. You just never know that I don't mind playing with there when you go get an elite goaltender to give yourself a shot. Because if anything will give you a shot, it's an elite goaltender, not a over the hill defenseman. Mott for a fourth. Yeah, see, they picked up guys like grinder guys, so they can grind out some wins in the playoffs and maybe make a push. I liked it. It was very good. They gave up late picks, picked up some good value guys. I think they can re-sign Vetrano. I love his shot. Mott's always a great character guy, and if they do get to re-sign him, they're great guys to help out the kids as they come up. I don't think they'll re-sign Braun. That was sort of a rental just for the playoffs. But a lot of good moves there. I thought the Rangers did really, really well. I've been really impressed with everything Chris Drury has done so far. I was one of the few people that liked the Gaudreau move. I know his analytics aren't great, but he's the kind of guy that in the playoffs his value goes up a lot. So Apparently Fleury didn't want to go to Toronto for whatever reason. I don't know why. If Fleury was willing to go to Toronto and he didn't go, and the Leafs didn't pony up for him, then that's ridiculous. For sure. I thought San Jose did well getting Kakinen too. I thought the Avalanche did really good, getting a good couple veterans there to help out, and a youngish veteran like Lehkonen. I wonder if they've got that up how they're going to fit in the lineup on cap friendly here. Where the heck is Colorado? Colorado. Yeah, Lehkonen will be with Newhook and Comfer. That's a good third line, man. Very good third line. And then they haven't placed Cogliano in there yet. But he'll probably play. Maybe he knocks Kubel out or Darren Helm. What a solid 4 lines. There's 4 lines they have. I thought they did well. They just sort of mixed some players in. They didn't go off. They didn't go off. That's got to be it, I guess. I don't know. Apparently, Verbeek turning into Stevie Y in Anaheim. You mean? I thought, yeah. I mean, I think Verbeek did well there. That was a nice return for Lindholm. Oh yeah, they got Manson too, right? Colorado. I forgot about that. And what did they give up for that? What was that Manson trade? Oh yeah, they gave up Pellison. What was the freaking deal? Drew Hellison, a second round pick in 2023 draft. My gosh, when you think of what Toronto gave up for Giordano, I'd say Sakic got off pretty good there. I'd say Sakic did pretty well considering what Toronto gave up for Giordano. They gave up basically 2 seconds. Now the difference is Helgeson is more ready to play in the NHL or play, so it's more. He could be very, very good. It may be that Helgeson to Anaheim is so good that he's pretty much like a first. Oh, what was the final deal on the Raquel deal? What did they finally get out of that? I didn't see what they got. They did. Oh yeah, like a lot. Another big story is the Tampa Bay Lightning get Riley Nash back for futures. What was the return for Raquel? I didn't hear what the return was yet. That Montreal did less than I thought they would. They didn't trade Petrie. A second, Zach, Aston Reese, and Simone. What second? 2003 second? Is that the 2003 second? Then it's not bad. Simone really. Zach Aston Reese, though, that'll be interesting to see what he does in Anaheim, for sure. I wouldn't say they stole that deal, but when you consider, especially since they did they retain? Because I'm not seeing it anywhere here. Where are you getting this? Sportsnet still hasn't even got it out yet. Oh, they still don't. Oh, it still doesn't tell you. For Dominic Simone is like whatever. Zach Aston Reese is interesting. A good two-way guy, really good two-way guy. And it's 2022 second. But if they didn't have to retain, I guess that's not bad. Oh yeah, I gotta work on my picks still for today. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that Columbus that deal either. What are you saying? Leafs will be in for tonight. What are you talking about? Toronto's not playing tonight. Anaheim traded I think my favorite play is Nashville tonight because Anaheim just traded everybody away. They're not going to be able to. Yeah, Nashville's got to win that game. Did I already put that in? I'm surprised that Montreal didn't trade more than they did. That's probably one of my bigger surprises. Petrie didn't go anywhere. Duran didn't come. I can kind of see that. Hoffman, who's going to. I guess nobody's going to take these contracts. That's a problem, right? Who's going to take that Hoffman contract at 4.5 for the next couple of years? Petrie, oh yeah, his contract's too long. He's not going nowhere. That's right. Kulak, they didn't do Kulak. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. And Savard's injured, so I guess that's why. If Boston wins, Leafs drop into fourth in the division. Let's look at that. Yeah, Boston wins. I think the Leafs still stay. How does that work? Because they'll have 30. They'll both have 39 wins. They should have the exact same record. What's no? They play. Oh yeah, Boston will have played one more game. So no, Boston wins. Toronto just stays where they are, but they're catching up on them all right. Well, I don't know which ones you don't know about. I'll tell you in a second. I got to go to the washroom. I'll be right back. Just get my coffee going here. Oh, you didn't see the Max Domi one? I don't get it either, Lauren. I don't. Now I was saying that uh, Stepan would have played with Domi back in Arizona, and so I believe maybe Ranta as well. I don't know if Ranta was there at that time or not. And Kokaniemi would have played with Domi in Montreal. So for some reason, those guys think they can get the best out of Domi because they would have talked to them. They would have talked to them about it. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Nice. That I said that was the weirdest trade out of all of them. Brian's in the house. How you doing, buddy? Dad and all. They must be doing them a favor. They're doing Vegas a favor by taking Dadonov. 4.82. I don't mind that deal. And I know you don't like it. I don't mind it. I think Kotkaniemi will play his way into that contract. I don't mind that deal. But what about this? I'll be right back. Okay, what about this Dadonov deal, though? Evgeny Dadonov. They don't say exactly what, though. So they're giving Vegas cap relief to bring Stone back. Yeah, they're bringing. So they're probably going to get a good pick for that. What do the Ducks have for picks now? Because they got a freaking whopping amount for Lindholm. I love Lindholm, and I get the deal for Boston in a way, but Boston still has a lot of work to do for that. Like I said, Lauren, look at they would have talked to Stepan. They would have talked to those guys. They must think I'm giving them some grace here because they very seldom make mistakes. And it's quite obvious that those guys must have known that they must believe they can get out of Domi what can be get out of Domi. Let's face it. If Domi grows up, he's got enough talent to be one hell of a player. But there's a big if on that. So that's the problem. There's a big if on that. I wanted to see here. Yeah, Penguins got Raquel. And they did pretty well there. They didn't really give all that much up for him. And I think Raquel could just go off in Pittsburgh. That was a nice move. Zach Aston Reese, he's a great two-way guy. He might have. I don't think he's got much offensive upside though. They tried him high in the Pittsburgh lineup, but as far as a defensive winger goes, he's really good. The other guy, I can't remember his name. He's Simone. He's whatever. And then a second round pick. I think they did pretty well there, for sure. For Josh Brown today, yeah. Imagine that. Number one, a top pick in the 2015 draft just traded away for a borderline defenseman to Ottawa. Now Zach Senyshyn's going to have an opportunity to become the fourth line player he always wanted to be. And it's good for Senyshyn to get an opportunity there in Ottawa, though. I wanted to see again what. Ducks, way in the bottom here. They got draft picks. Oh shoot. Back here. So they got 2 firsts now. What did they get back for that? In that trade? They got Vakanainen, a first, 2022 first, a 2023 second, which is almost like a first, and a 2024 second. for Vacanine and John Moore, whatever, just made the money work. What a beautiful move that is. Woo! That's a great pickup. Holy crap. I like Lindholm, but man, that was a nice package they got for him. So that gives him 3 seconds in 2023 now. He's doing it the right way there, Patty Verbeek in Anaheim, for sure. He's doing it in the right way. It's the haves and the have-nots. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not sure about the Panthers yet. I want to see them play. I want to see a better road record for the Panthers before I start pinning my hopes on the Panthers. The Avalanche play Oilers tonight, and I think the Avalanche win that all day. The Oilers might as well not have did anything. Go get Brassard and Kukan. They gave up a second for... I don't know. I mean, like, you think it's bad. I would have rather them got Domi, Lauren. The Oilers. I would have rather them got Domi than give up a second for Kukan. For the love of God. Kukan. Rangers got Copp, yeah. They're going to pay him probably about $5 million a year for... Going to give him a long-term $5 million a year contract, pretty sure. The Rangers... A second round conditional is, I hope that's conditioned on whether they sign and that becomes a first. Let's see if that's... $2 seconds? So what's the condition? 2 second round. What is it? What's the conditional? Me personally am happy. I heard he was going there, and then I said, I don't know if Fleury's going to stay there. I still think he might end up going to Pittsburgh. But for this year, Minnie's got a shot. I mean, still not a very good chance they're going to beat Colorado. But, I mean, Vegas has gone to poop. Maybe they'll, when Stone comes back, they'll be better. They can beat a lot of teams in the West. Then they just got to get lucky with Colorado. But as long as you got Fleury, you got a fighting chance anyways. 2023 sixth. For 2 second round picks and a conditional... I want to know what the conditions are. Okay, the condition is, so it's a second round pick, a conditional second, okay, so it becomes a first in 2022 if they win 2 rounds and Copp plays 50% of the games. Okay. Otherwise, it's a second, and then a second in 2023. In 2000, well, you would have it in, it'd have to be 2023. That's like the deepest draft. Uh, I mean, obviously, Kopp didn't want to sign there, so, or they didn't want to sign him for whatever reason. He probably was talking to Trouba, and Trouba said, "Come to New York, man. Come on." No, 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 no. Jets choice. Well, it'll be a 2023. Getting the 2023 second is really good. But the problem is not having Kopp. I mean, when do the Jets play again? Because that deal basically puts them in a situation where they got to be looking at it as if they're not going to make the playoffs for sure. Yeah, it's tough to find people to go to Winnipeg. It's even colder than Edmonton, for sure. They got him to sign him. They know they're going to sign him already. Well, they're going to sign him to 5 years, $5 million a year for 8 years, I bet. The full 8 years. Oilers, man. They're going to sign him to 8 years at $5 million a year. That's what I'm guessing somewhere around there. And they know they're going to sign him because Trouba's been, people, they already know they're going to sign him. Trouba and Kopp are talking all the time. They just go talk to Trouba. Trouba tells them what's going on. They say, well, tell him we'll offer this and blah, 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 blah. They get it for sure. They already got him signed. He's signed. Same as the Lindholm deal. They already knew they were going to sign him before they made that trade. Oilers, man, on the radio. So we suck. Oilers, man, we suck. We gave up a second-round pick for Kukan. So we gave up a second and third-round pick for Kukan and Duncan Keith. We did that. Our team. The team I'm supposed to cheer for did that. Did that. I can't wait till he listened to Peyton's video on this. Peyton is going to lose his freaking mind. His head's already exploded now. Bruins. Bruins for sure. I got to go with the Bruins. I mean, the Canadians got to be feeling a little bit good about themselves because they didn't trade everything off. But losing Lehkonen has kind of got to hurt. And I think the Bruins are motivated to take that spot from Toronto right now, too. I got to go with the Bruins. Got to go with the Bruins. It's a weird time at the deadline, though. It's not a bad idea to lay off at the deadline on anything because it's hard to judge where teams are going to be at. But if you look at those games, Vegas, Minnesota's got to be hyped that they got Fleury. Vegas traded. I wonder is Stone going to come off the IR like right away now that they traded Dodonov? Anaheim was it's got to be Nashville. There's just too much drama going on in Anaheim there. I think Nashville's got to win that game. Colorado. There was Colorado's got to feel pretty good about the acquisitions. They didn't really lose anybody. What did they do? They got Cogliano. They didn't trade anybody away, right? I unfortunately I got to go with the favorites all over the place here. I don't see a dog tonight. Possibly Vegas, if Minnesota is a little bit too hyped about getting Fleury. Vegas has been playing better, you know, maybe, but there's so much out of the lineup. So Oilers, man, you didn't say anything, but do you really have to say anything? Like, what do you think of the deals we got? I don't. Broussard isn't bad, I suppose. I guess. Kukan is ridiculous. Let me message Peyton right now. Let me message Peyton right now. For the new people are in here, tell me which trade you want to talk about. I wonder, like, should I be saying what all the trades are right now? Everybody can find out what the trades are, right? Are you actually coming on here to find out what happened in the trade deadline? I wonder about that. But Peyton. I just messaged Peyton and said, "Well, we are awesome, aren't we?" See what he has to say about that. He said, "Heck yeah, we are." Oh, did we get Kulak from Montreal too? Oh, wait a second. I didn't know we got Kulak from Montreal. I didn't know we got Kulak. That might save the day there. I didn't know did we get Kulak? Did Edmonton got Kulak? What the hell? I didn't hear about this. Kulak isn't bad. I did not hear about that. Okay, we got Kulak. I didn't know that. Oh, it was Kulak that we gave Lagesson in a second for. Okay, that's not so bad. Oh, I thought it was Kukan. Okay, that's not that bad. Ooh, I feel a little better now. I feel a little better now. We got Kulak. I thought we got Kukan. Or maybe we got them both, but I thought we gave up a second of Lagesson for Kukan, but it was Kulak. Kulak isn't bad, actually. I don't mind that deal. I still think a second might be a little high, but wow. Okay. Oh, that's not bad. I read it wrong. I'm talking to him right now. I'm talking to Peyton right now. The sad thing about it is I could have saw us do that for Kukan. I could have saw us do it. I think I'm so used to Oilers making absolute shit trades that I thought it was Kukan that they gave it for. I'm so sure that they're going to make shit trades that I thought it was Kukan that they did it for. Riley Nash to Tampa. Yeah, he goes everywhere. That guy, he goes everywhere in the league. He's actually a really strong defensive center. He's not going to play in Tampa unless there's lots of injuries. But I didn't like your Leafs move there, Leafs addict. I thought that was a way too much of an overpay for Giordano. The Ducks acquire Giordano. We still don't know what that's going to be. That would be yikes. I thought that's what it said. I thought it said we gave up for Kukan. What did we give up for Kukan? Did we get Kukan and Kulak? Our poor announcer guys are going to lose their mind. So that never actually happened. It was Kulak. Okay. Okay, I feel better now. It's actually not a bad deal. Holy shit. The Oilers didn't do a bad deal. Yeah, the Leafs got Giordano. Yeah, the Oilers did not get Kukan. I'm so used to the Oilers doing just stupid trades. I actually thought it said Kukan and not Kulak. For Kulak, I still think it's a bit of an overpay, but he's a good defensive defenseman. I don't mind that deal at all. It's better than what we have in a lot of ways. So the question is, will they actually play him in the lineup or not? But that's not a bad deal. Yeah, I thought for sure it said. I just can't. I'm just not used to the Oilers making good deals. Yeah, Broussard, whatever, fourth round pick. Broussard barely is a player now an NHL player now. He's like a 14th forward. I don't care about that, but Kukan's not bad. I mean, we're still not a contender or anything. You know, maybe they can sign him for next year. Whatever. It's better than what I or a Kulak. I mean, Kulak's not bad. I mean, yeah, better depth, I guess. It's all right. It's whatever. It's whatever. I mean, he'll play fourth line. It's okay. I don't think it's good, but it's okay. Edmonton Oilers, I don't. Are they going to be in the second round? I have no idea. Not if they stay. Not if they just barely make the playoffs and have to play Colorado. I would say no. I don't know. I haven't got any results, but I imagine Vegas is giving up a pick for that because they're getting cap room out of the deal. So he's terrible defensively. I don't know. He's soft as shit. They'll probably try to play him up there. Yeah. Yeah, there was a Dodonov trade. We don't know what the return is yet for it. Yeah, it hasn't said. There's been no confirmation on the return yet, as far as I can tell. So Morgan Barron, a fifth round pick in 2 seconds. Um, Morgan Barron. I think the Habs did well getting Justin Barron for Lehkonen. He looks like he's going to be a killer defenseman. Winnipeg. I wonder if they have it. Where the heck? Oh, wait, Winnipeg Jets. Here we go. Okay. So I wonder if they've got stuff over at Cap Friendly for that Morgan Barron trade. Either Scheifler Stastny. Morgan Barron, yeah. Oh, he's 23 already. He's from Halifax, Nova Scotia. 15 points in 25 games. Probably a fourth liner. Yeah, they got Stetcher. Not that big of a deal. I mean, they're hoping that Morgan Barron can be the next Cop, I guess. I don't think he's got that offensive upside. They got a whole lot of like third line guys, third and fourth line guys in Winnipeg. They got Stafford. Do they even have them in there yet? Who did they get? They got Stafford, and who is the other one? Oh, Appleton. How come they don't have Appleton in the lineup here? That's weird. They don't have Appleton in there yet. But if they get Stafford and Appleton, they basically just have like a lot of fourth line guys. Yeah, we'll see what the Rangers look like now. I'm looking up their I'm looking up on Cap Friendly if they've actually put the players in there and look what their lineups would look like. See, they still haven't filled them in there yet. Kopp would. Oh, Andrew Kopp, they got him on the left side, playing on the left wing with Hedel and Goudreau. And they haven't got Tyler Mott in anywhere, but I imagine he'd be on the fourth line with Reeves and Hunt. And of course, Petrano. A lot of different big different lineup now. And they don't have Braun in there yet. Oh, Justin Braun, okay. He can't find a spot everywhere he goes. There's a perceived idea that he's got an attitude problem. Hedel will move to wing, probably. I don't know, Kopp. I don't know. We'll find out because I think Kopp's a better winger than a center, but you got a good, tough player now. They got a tough lineup. Goudreau, Kopp. If Blake could come back, but I guess he's hurt, they got a really tough lineup. Like it's going to be Rangers are not going to be a fun out in the playoffs, that's for sure. I mean, now I wouldn't put them in cup contenders. They're too green, the Rangers. But with Shesterkin, you never know. You always got that chance when you got lights out goaltending like that. So, but I would say it's not likely at all. Well, that's the thing is I haven't shooed that trade yet. I know Lauren doesn't like it, but I haven't shooed that trade yet because they would have talked to Stepan. They would have talked to Kokiniemi would have played with him in Montreal. Stepan would have played him for the Rangers. I think Ranta would have played with him in the Rangers too. I could be wrong about that though. But especially Stepan, he would have played with them probably for 2 years. So I imagine they would have trusted Stepan's opinion about. There's no doubt about it. Domi has got more skill than he's shown so far in the NHL. In fact, in Arizona, he showed it even more. 1 year in Montreal, he showed it really well. It's something about he's flighty or maybe not as committed as he should be or something of that nature or immaturity or something. And one of these teams he may grow up one time in one of these teams. And then you've got a 60 to 70 point winger that plays hard and I still think Bertuzzi's going to be on the block somewhere down the road here. No, he played in Arizona with Stepan. Arizona was the captain of the Arizona Coyote. Max Domi was drafted by the Coyotes. Then he was traded to Montreal, where and played with Kokaniemi in Montreal. That's what I'm talking about there. I never said he played for the Rangers. Stepan played in Arizona, and Domi was traded to Montreal, where Kokaniemi was there. If I look in their lineup, I might even find somebody else that he might have played with. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I said Rangers? I didn't mean to say Rangers. Sorry about that. That's why you thought it was the Rangers. So I guess I did say Rangers. Oops. No, I meant to say Arizona and Montreal. If I look at their lineup, I wonder if there's another player that he would have played with. Trocheck, Nietzsche, Trocheck was Florida. Lawrence Jordan Stahl. I think it would just be Kokaniemi and Stepan. Martinuk. Didn't Martinuk play in Arizona too? I believe he did. Well, let me look it up. Yeah, Martinuk too. I don't know if he would have been there when. Yeah, he would have been there when Domi was there. So there's another guy. Martinuk would have played with them too. So they would have talked to these guys and said, what can we do to get the best out of this? And, so we'll have to see if they're right. You gotta take their word for it. I mean, you gotta at least see. A lot of people gave them crap for getting D'Angelo. I didn't. I thought it was a great move. I thought whatever happened with the Rangers was overblown. Actually, D'Angelo played in Arizona too. D'Angelo played in Arizona. So I think this deal could end up being great. Oh yeah, Hughes doesn't do anything. He just deals with contracts. There was like the hard part they had in Montreal was they had too many long contracts. Petrie, Drouin was injured most of the time. Like they had too many long contracts. Okay. What does Mini look like now? Uh, Minnesota Wild. Have they got Marc-Andre Fleury as the backup to Talbot? No, we're not. You're not the backup to Talbot. Yeah, but he would have known of him, and he would have knew him though. Oh, okay. Jacob Middleton is not. They don't have him in the lineup. Left defenseman. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's yeah. Well, they just have it in cap friendly as the backup, but tonight only. But he ain't gonna be no backup in Minnesota. That's for sure. He's definitely not going to be the backup in Minnesota. Oh, Blackhawks fan, you're mad about all of what? You're mad that your team is rebuilding? It needed to be done right a long time ago. It should have been done right a long time ago. Blackhawks fans have just, I talk to Blackhawks fans a lot, and they are very angry. And you're going to get more angry because Kane is gone and Taze is gone. And they are livid that they're gone. You had a great ride. It should have been done a long time ago. I don't know what to say, man. Should have been done a long time ago. But what, I mean, they had to get. Taze and Kane have been messing this up the whole time because they refused to waive their no trade clauses. So they kept on, like, basically pretending they weren't rebuilding when they were and all that stuff. No, they're not actually gone, but they're going to be gone for sure. I just can't see. It wouldn't make any sense to keep them, man. It just doesn't make any sense. It would be sad. It would be sad to watch Taze and Kane lose every night with all these kids, and I don't know. To me, it would be sad. Well, they had no choice but to trade Panarin. Panarin told them that he wanted to be a Ranger. He was honest with it, and he was never going to sign with anybody but the Rangers. He was going to go to New York, and that was it. When they traded him to Columbus, Columbus knew that he was never going to sign with Columbus. You don't mind if you trade Kane? Well, I don't mind it either. They got to do it. They got to rebuild totally. They got to. What, you're going to keep Taze there? Really? Like, really? Why? I know he can be like great for the kids and all that kind of stuff like that, but to me, it's just a shame. You're right. Kane is horrible at defense. He is terrible at defense. His offense makes up for it a lot, but I mean, that's not a guy you want. I don't think you want kids to be growing up, using him as an example on how to play the game, really. There's not too many kids out there that are going to have the offensive Kane. I imagine Taze will be a Hall of Famer, yeah. Kane will be a Hall of Famer too. But Blackhawks fan, you're one of the few guys I know that know. Selke, Conn Smythe, and 3 cups. And yeah, just a legend, yeah. You're mad about Hagel? I mean, what a great return, though, dude. I know you love Hagel, but uh, that was a killer return, man. Well, he's 25 years old. He's pretty much hit his max offensively, Hagel. I mean, he's sort of like having a Coleman. That's a lot of return for a Coleman. Like, I know it would. I know. I'm sure they hummed and hawed about it. It wasn't automatic because you love Hagel for what he is, but everybody loves those guys. But they're not. It's not like they're irreplaceable or something like that. It's one of the best value contracts in the NHL, no doubt about it. It's the 2023 first that's the thing. It's the 2023 first. That draft is going to be insane. It's like the 2015 draft. You wait till next year. It'll be like pulling teeth trying to get a 2023 first from anybody next year. That pick is gold. Really. That's the thing. Getting the 2023 first is going to be what that's all about right there. Minnesota fans don't like change unless it's Dumba, which never changes. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, Kachuk doesn't matter, but the other one's fairly interesting. The 2000, like I said, the 2023 first is good, and 24 first too, 2 firsts out of that. They're weighing it all out and where they're going to be and what they got to do. I get it. I mean that there are going to be some amazing players in that 2003 draft, even late in the first. So basically, we'll see how late it is in the first with Tampa Bay. I don't know, but probably you're right. Probably pretty late next year. But that was a lot of pieces for one player. Oh yeah. You know what? I gotta go too, guys. It was awesome talking to you guys, but I gotta cruise. This was good times. I should be on tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, but I gotta take off. So thanks for coming in, everybody, Blackhawks fans and everybody. Make sure to tell all your friends and come on again. But that's my full 42. I'll talk to you later, guys. Okay, bye.